Well, the streak is over for the Winnipeg Jets, who had won 6 consecutive games against the Ottawa Senators dating back to last season. And of course, it comes in heartbreaking fashion, as it seems to happen to the Winnipeg Jets so far this year. Third time that they've given up the eventual game winner with under 2 minutes to go, and really the second time this season it's happened with less than 10 seconds left to go. You'll recall, of course, the heartbreaker against the Edmonton Oilers, where Leon Draisaitl was able to score with a tenth of a second left on the clock. And then, of course, there's today, where Brady Tkachuk is the one that ends up with the deflection, and he's able to get it past Connor Hellebuck to give the Ottawa Senators a 2-1 win over the Winnipeg Jets, who obviously this is a tough one for the Jets, who played once again with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. Pierre-Luc Dubois not able to play in this game due to a lower body injury. He's day-to-day. Kevin Sawyer will be right here in a couple of seconds. Let's get right into the highlights so that he can get himself comfortable. Scoreless first period, and then it was the Jets that got on the board first. It's Mark Scheifele getting his 6th of the season, and some good work from Christian Vesalainen along the left wing to be able to hold off a check from Eric Goodbranson. You'll see it coming up here in the replay. Scheifele's the one that starts to play in the neutral zone, makes a pass over to the left wing to be able to, there's the pass to the left wing. Vesalainen looks down Goodbranson, shields the puck away, is able to get it across. Probably doesn't get everything on it that he wanted, but Scheifele there on the back door. That extends Scheifele's point streak to 6 games. But the Sens didn't go away. Just under 2 minutes later, this is Evgeny Dadonov. Just a nice little deflection on the back door. Nice little kind of backhand pass from Colin White to set that up. As you'll see here, Pionk just loses him, and then it's just perfect backdoor pass underneath Pionk's leg as he was kind of sprawling to try to break it up. It's almost like he could sense it was coming. There's someone coming on the backdoor side. Mark Scheifele is actually heading down. This is what ends up being the eventual game winner here. Puck comes back to the point. There's the deflection. Let's head down to the media room where Mark Scheifele is meeting the media.
Hardest test that Ottawa provided you this season?
Yeah, they played good. They clogged up the slot. They made us work for our ice. So they made it hard on us. And when the team makes it hard on you like that, you gotta find ways to create some offense and create some loose pucks and get in front of their goalie. And we just didn't do it enough.
We'll go next to Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Mark, what did you see from your team after you returned to a top line of you, Wheeler, and Connor?
I liked it. I obviously love playing with those guys, and we had close support. We got the puck in the O-zone. We got we got the puck moving. We just had to get to the net a little more, get our timing back a little bit. But I liked it.
And we'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Mark, what did you see of the winner? Was there some miscommunication with Connor Hellebuck in goal there, did you think? Or?
I have no idea. I don't know what happened there. Haven't watched it yet, so probably a little bit of miscommunication, but don't know what happened.
We'll go next to Ken Wiebe from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Ken.
Mark, what stands out from the first quarter of the season for your group?
I think a little bit of resiliency. We're never out of a game. We always have faith we can score and we can come back on teams. So it was a tough loss tonight, but we get a little bit of rest, and now next up is Edmonton.
Just a couple more for Mark. We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Mark, I think this is the 3rd time this season for you guys that you had an unfortunate end there, with seconds remaining. I'm just kind of curious. I mean, how do you kind of talk about that after the game, and more importantly, how do you learn about it?
Just can't lose focus. That's the biggest thing. It's any team can score at any given moment, and you can't give them those chances. You got to stay focused right till the buzzer, and that's the biggest thing is you can't lose that focus. You can't lose that thought in your head that the game's not over till the buzzer rings. So I think that's the biggest thing.
And final question, we'll go back to Jeff Hamilton. Go ahead, Jeff.
Mark, just curious about the 11 forward 7D. I mean, is that I don't want to use the word challenging, but is there adjustment there for you guys, just given you don't use that kind of obviously lineup very often?
Yeah, I think there's a big adjustment. Obviously it changes the rhythm of things a little bit. That last game was the first time I've ever ran 11 and 7, so there's a bit of an adjustment to it, a little bit of finding your rhythm, through that mix-up, and it's just a matter of getting used to it.
Thanks very much, Mark.
Kevin Sawyer joins us on the Jets TV Live postgame show presented by Budweiser. And Kevin, Mark Scheifele hasn't had a chance to go back and watch that final goal from Brady Tkachuk yet, but just your thoughts on kind of what happened. He wasn't sure if there was a miscommunication there with Connor Hellebuck or not, but obviously a tough way for the Jets to lose this one today.
Yeah, there was, in the dying seconds where I thought that the numbers were even on the initial backtrack. And then when the puck went from low to high, in this league you can lose a half a stride on a guy when the opposition throws the puck to the net the way that the Senators did. Every shot has a chance to score. It was a fortuitous tip from Brady Tkachuk, who wisely put himself into that lane. But it's just one of those things to me where it was more of a result of maybe the 55 minutes before than just that last shot. The Jets could have probably put the puck to the net a little bit more and been a little bit more dangerous in the middle of the ice. But it's never over, like he said, until that buzzer rings.
Christian Vesalainen was a dangerous one. He had 1 assist today. He's at the podium.
Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
A lot of work by you on that goal for you guys. Just how did you see it play up, and what did you see on the goal?
I just got the puck on the blue line and actually tried to go to Louis, but it kind of slipped off and went to Scheifele, and we got a goal.
We'll go next to Mike McIntyre from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Christian, when you're rolling 11 forwards like you were the last 2 games, yourself and I guess Trevor Lewis were kind of the 10th and 11th guys there, so you're playing always with a different centerman. What's that like to maybe not have the consistency of the same line mates every time you're on the ice?
I haven't noticed any difficulties for that. I think it's been fine for me. I haven't seen any difficulties to play there.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Christian, whoever you had as a center there, you seem to have some good shifts and generate some good stuff as a fourth line. How did you see your lines play?
Yeah, I think we had a good game, me and Louis, and we just got the pucks deep there and got some offensive zone time. So I think that was good, and we battled hard. So I think it was a good game for our line too.
And final question to Murat Tatesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Hi, Christian. It seems to me that this year you've had more success in sort of turning the corner on guys, driving to the middle of the net, finding plays in the middle of the ice. Do you see it that same way? And if so, how's this happening? What's the focus?
Yeah. I mean, I got 8 months to work on that, so that's maybe the biggest thing. I got a lot stronger and faster in the summer, so that helped a lot, and that's been working.
Thanks very much, Christian.
Thank you.
Christian Vesalainen made the most of his 7:43 of ice time, got his second career NHL point, as we saw in the highlights on the assist of Mark Scheifele's goal. Just your thoughts on the steps, really, on that last question there that Christian Vesalainen's taken this season.
Yeah, he looks like he's gained a step for sure. Pardon me, and I like the way that he's just, his feet are continuously moving, whether it's just in the forecheck when he doesn't have the puck on his stick. But the goal was, to me, the perfect example of what you would want from a Christian Vesalainen. He's a big body who can skate. Maybe his biggest strength is his shot. So he's not going to find that open ice early when you're trying to establish yourself into the lineup on the fourth line. So that's probably not going to be what rises to the top. But that power forward element in his game needs to. It has to, for him to buy himself more time to get up more opportunities. The way he's able to turn the corner on his forehand, not an easy thing to do, and to get that pass off. Now, it was a pass that was meant for that high forward. It was Trevor Lewis trailing in, but regardless, if you get body position and you can put the puck to the middle of the ice into dangerous areas, something good's going to happen, and it was a fortuitous bounce for him. But I like the power forward element in that entry to that goal. So I noticed him tonight. He looked good.
Lots of good in Christian Vesalainen's game. Derek Forbort now at the podium.
With Connor maybe coming out to play it, some hesitation on everyone's part there?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but yeah, I guess we just weren't on the same page. We just got to clean that up for next game.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Derek, how hard is it to beat a team 5 times in a row?
I mean, yeah, I guess pretty hard. You know, I thought we played a pretty good game tonight, though. We were pretty solid in all areas, and you know, we just couldn't score that, you know, last one, and then just a little miscue at the end. Sucks.
We'll go next to Ken Wiebe from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Ken.
Derek, what stood out about the play of the defense core during the first quarter of the season here?
You know, it's just it's a tough group. You know, we got a lot of guys that'll, you know, lay their body on the line for the team, and you know, it's a fun group to be a part of, and but yeah, I just think it's just kind of the cohesiveness of it all. Like, everyone just kind of plays for each other back there. It's been good.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Understanding this one stings, the ending here. Is there anything at this level that needs to be said, or anything to learn from, or is it just one of those things that just kind of chalk it up to bad luck and move on?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, the timing of it sucks, but yeah, we'll just we'll talk about it, and we'll watch it, and we'll get better, and we'll move on.
Thanks very much, Derek.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, the Winnipeg Jets are 4-0-1 coming off a loss of any kind so far this year, but they've been able to bounce back. We talked off the top of the show about the Leon Draisaitl goal, and then obviously the Calgary Flames being able to beat the Winnipeg Jets in the final minutes of regulation. How tough is it to kind of park that and be able to turn around and come back as successfully as the Jets so far have this year?
Yeah, I think it's the eagerness to get back at it and right or wrong. So the first two were a little bit different for me, in the sense that it's a power play goal against with the Flames, and that dying seconds, Connor McDavid makes a great pass, unlikely pass. So this one for me, though, is, you know, without being critical of the Jets, because they worked and they had really good spurts of the game. Connor Hellebuyck was fantastic. I just think that when there was opportunities to play, shift in style, like if you look at the Senators, they clog the middle of the ice up. They make it extremely hard for the Jets to get their bodies and the puck to the middle of the ice. They blocked a ton of shots, mid-20s I think it was tonight. And I thought that they were the better of the two teams as far as just simplifying, put the puck to the net, hack and whack, that shot starter mentality. I thought that the Jets needed a little bit more of that. They controlled a lot of the play, and they made some beautiful plays. But I thought that it maybe was a little bit too pretty against a team where you almost have to embrace the grind and muck and grind to get some ugly ones in tight. There wasn't enough of that. So what I said to my point earlier, the previous 55 minutes, I thought there was a stylistic change that needed to happen for the Jets, and they didn't really adhere to that enough, and it ended up burning them in the dying minutes.
Paul Maurice, and to your point, Paul Maurice yesterday spoke about how much of a shot volume team the Ottawa Senators are. They'll routinely put up close to 40 shots. They only get 29 today, but like you said, a number of attempts kind of go toward the net. And then they got the goaltending, which has also been a big thing for them this year. Marcus Hogberg makes 30 saves, and the Jets are unable to beat him on this night outside of one. Head coach Paul Maurice now at the podium.
We'll get started with Jamie Thomas from Jets Radio. Go ahead, Jamie.
Hey, Paul, of the 5 meetings with Ottawa this season, was that the toughest challenge they provided?
No, I think they were good in Game 1 and Game 4. I thought there were parts of both those games they might have been better than us. This one was just real solid and even straight through.
We'll go next to Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, Paul, Mark was asked how to avoid allowing the late game winners the team has given up, and he said it's about staying focused. Is that what the issue has been in those cases, that the team has lost focus? And if so, how do you correct that?
There's 3 different events, right? We have a lead against Edmonton, a penalty in Calgary that we don't get a kill on. Tonight was just a gaffe, miscommunication on a simple play. So our third period was our best period tonight. First, obviously, we were much improved from last game. It was fairly even. Our third period was our best period. So we just, if in those 3 games that the third period we had a lead or it was tight and the other team took it to us, and then you could say there's something to that. I think it's clearly had 3 of them in this short a period of time. You're not too happy about it, but there's not a specific event that's taken place.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, feel free to shoot me down on this one, but it seemed like Kyle Connor and Blake Wheeler were generating some things in the offensive zone, and I'm curious if adding Mark Scheifele to that group was to add maybe a scoring center on that group, but I don't know. I'm just kind of curious why you switched those two centermen up.
I thought that Mark had his game going, and I thought that Blake is looking right and normal. I thought that there wasn't much going on with the other line at all, and it was more of a negative in some ways. Like I didn't like the way they were playing. So, and then I liked the result of it after.
We'll go next to Scott Billick from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, just prior to the game winner, I mean, what needs to be done differently? I mean, you're pushing the play for the final two periods, and is it just lack of finish, or what needs to?
It's not like it's a tight game, you know. I mean, we had some offense die. I felt during the game on some simple plays that we could have made to keep the momentum, because we had some good ozone shifts that just died on the handling of puck at times. Yeah, that's how I felt.
We'll go next to Ken Wiebe from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Ken.
Paul, how would you assess where your team's at the quarter mark here of the season?
Well, there's chunks of our game that are real good. We've obviously got some areas and then we need to improve. The offensive game I like in parts, didn't love parts of it tonight, but I like we're starting to get to the net on some plays. We got to do a better job of getting the puck to the net on those plays. An awful lot blocked here tonight. Like where it kills at, I think there seems to be a lot fewer power plays in the last 5 games than there were in the start of the season. We played hard.
We'll go next to Mike McIntyre from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Paul, I know you called it a gaffe. Obviously, we're not getting Connor or Neil to maybe take us through what happened there, but just from your perspective, is the mistake Connor playing that puck, or was there a communication?
It's just communication. Connor's got the right to go out and stop that puck so it doesn't get jammed on the wall. He thinks Forbort's coming back to play it, so he leaves it. Forbort's going over the corner because he thinks Connor's going to give it to him. And then the puck rolled into the trapezoid, so Connor couldn't move it after that.
We'll go next to Murat Tatesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Paul, in some sports, I mean, the favorite is something like 90%, 80%. Hockey is obviously not one of those. Is it fair or unfair to expect a team with your roster and your quality to be able to push this game and just take it over and win at that 1-1 mark against the Ottawa Senators?
So the problem in viewing it from a piece of paper in terms of the record is that you would expect that would be your expectation, that we should be able to dominate a team offensively that's given up the goals they have. But if you've watched them play at all, you know that that's not the way any of their games have gone. Maybe a couple in the middle when they were out west, but they were better than Edmonton in Ottawa. And they were better than us. That's a lot better team than you think. I don't think their record indicates their play or the quality of players that they have. I think they've gotten off to a real tough start. I think their team's quite a bit better than that.
Just a couple more. We'll go to Jeff Hamilton from the Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, that was actually going to be part of my question, Paul. I had heard you on the pregame about talking about kind of those points with Ottawa and how you just hope that they wouldn't kind of catch fire tonight, or today rather. I'm just kind of, when Ottawa's playing their best game, what are you seeing?
That game tonight, but they've played that game consistently. So if you go back before the puck drops to the start of the year, there were an awful lot of people thinking that Ottawa had a phenomenal summer and they were going to put a real good team on the ice, and they battled hard and they won a game early, and people were very impressed with their team, and they should be. It's a good hockey team. Their team is way better than their record. Right, they've battled hard. They've gotten some bad breaks around the net. I think they got a break on the one tonight, but the quality of hockey that they play, I think, is commensurate to their lineup. I think they got a pretty darn good lineup. Right, they've got some good young kids and they got some hard veterans, and it's a good team. So their record, when you look at it, you say, well, this is an easy walk. They haven't given up an easy walk all year. They had a couple of tough games on a road trip, and other than that, their games look like that pretty consistently.
And final question to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Paul, I'm just wondering how much more wrenching a loss like that is, and what do you have to do to get it out of their system?
That one just pisses you off because it didn't need to happen. I mean, the Edmonton game, we had pushed hard, and that was right. You get a penalty late in a game like the one in Calgary. That's tough because you really like your game, but you walked out. That one just pisses you off.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Always appreciate head coach Paul Maurice's honesty. What I will ask you, Kevin, final question, just was one that was asked to Paul Maurice. We're at the quarter mark of the season here, 14 games in. Just your thought on where the Winnipeg Jets are at.
Yeah, I think that when you look back, Mitch, over the last few years of the Winnipeg Jets and how they build towards something, and it's a process. It is for every team. But the things that stand out for me is the fact that they've had some adversity and some shuffling of lines, and they're trying to find some new things. So the offensive structure of this team is different than it used to be. They're more of a direct team. I didn't think they were maybe as direct as they needed to be tonight, but overall, they've done a really nice job of still keeping speed and skill, which is a big part of their forward group, but really getting the puck to the net and creating that way. Defensively, they're a lot more patient. They're not as much of a shot blocking team in the past. This year, they seem to be taking more shot leans away. So they've had some different ideas. Those ideas are new, and I think they've excelled at them. Their penalty kill has been fantastic, and all the things that you would expect, like Connor Hellebuck continuing on what he has, and then Nikolai Ehlers has been continuation of getting a couple goals in the playoffs. His game has grown, and now he's being able to bring what he brings, that speed, that skill, the finish, but he's also playing a hard game as well. He's got some edge to him. So through the first quarter here, I think that they've done a really nice job in cementing the idea of the way they want to play. They've had some bumps in the road with some late losses, tonight being one of them. But generally, this is a team that's going in the right direction, hard to play against, and it's been a successful start.
Second quarter of the season gets underway with a 4-game road trip that starts in Edmonton on Monday. Thank you for joining us on the Jets TV Live postgame show presented by Budweiser. For Kevin Sawyer, I'm Mitchell Clinton. We'll see you later.